Guys, so I am going to be redoing my substrate in one of my tanks. I have some mold growth. This is jumbo tank, so they are pretty big, and right along with the food, you know, they drag it down into the substrate. So over time, this is why we suggest never mixing anything into your substrate. I didn't, but these guys sure did. So today we're going to be redoing the substrate. Dumping your substrate, you want to make sure that you're putting it in a bucket, and you can dump it in your backyard or in a flower garden. You definitely don't want to put it in garbage cans or garbage bags for the garbage people to pick up. Okay, so all 250 pounds of substrate is out. Now you can use a vacuum to pick up anything that's left. You want to make sure that you're wearing gloves and a mask during this process. After the vacuuming process, you want to do a 50-50 vinegar water. You're just going to sanitize the tank. If you had any fungal blooms, bacteria blooms, you want to make sure that you spread it out. You add a few drops of prime into your water just to make sure that it's safe. You know, our crabs do rub up against the glass, so you want to make sure that you're getting everything. After you do this, you can wipe it down again with just plain water, but you want to sanitize the glass, especially wherever you had the bacteria bloom. I set up a temporary tank. This is something I just had extra, so this is where I'm going to be putting them. I'm waiting for the numbers to go up a little bit, just a little bit more. They're in the safe zone. I just want to make sure that I bring them up a little bit so that there's not too much of adjustment. So they're just going to go in here until I redo the substrate. The substrate does have some mold, so we will be doing that together. The crabs are in. They're not so happy, but it's only short term. Hey guys, welcome to Land Hermit Crab Educational Center. My name is Jessica, and today I wanted to talk to you about mold in substrate. Sometimes we can find ourselves in a situation where we have some mold growth in our substrate. We want to make sure that we put out this disclaimer right away. We do not dig up our crabs for any reason unless it's a complete emergency. Now, if it's just a little bit of mold in the tank, you want to easily scoop it out if it's on the surface. If it's something deep down in the substrate, you don't want to do that. You can always hop onto our Facebook groups and we can advise you better. We should not dig up our crabs for any reason. Like I mentioned, this can stress them out. Molting is very, very stressful already. By us going in and digging them because we see some mold in the substrate can stress them out and result in death. So we want to avoid any of that completely. Like I mentioned, you can hop on to our Facebook group or even message me or leave it in the comments, and I'll be happy to help you and get things right. There is a myth out there where you have to mix your substrate with oyster shells or even leaves, different things. We want to avoid mixing anything in our substrate except for the 5-to-1 ratio, 5 parts play sand, 1 part cocoa fiber, because this will result in bad fungal blooms in our tank. So we want to avoid that completely. Now, like I mentioned, in my tank, this was a jumbo tank that had some mold. I have jumbos in there. Jumbos are just really big crabs. My biggest crab is wearing a 2.5-inch opening shell. So if you're feeding on top of the substrate, you can create either a platform or place something underneath their food dish. So when food falls onto down off of the dish, it'll fall on that platform so you can easily pick it up. If you're not doing that, it's important to make sure to clean out the substrate. You can use a hermit crab poop scooper. It's just a little scooper, and collect any food that has fallen. So over time, like I mentioned, if it's not collected, it will go in deep into the substrate and create mold. you have molting crabs. Mold is not good and healthy for the crabs, especially in an enclosure that is completely sealed. So you want to make sure that they are safe, because they can ingest that while they're down there and they're breathing that, and it can do them harm. So I did wait till they came up. It wasn't too bad, so I was able to wait a little longer for them to come up. Then we just redid the substrate. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like my videos, and share with others. See you on the next one.